The legend of Blackthorn Lake. Blackthorn Lake was a place shrouded in legend, nestled deep in the heart of a forgotten forest. The villagers whispered of an ancient creature that dwelled beneath its black waters, a being they called Virolith. It was said to be older than the forest itself, a nightmare born of darkness and hunger. Few dared approach the lake, but those who did often returned with tales of eerie sounds and strange movements beneath the surface, if they returned at all. It was on a cool autumn evening that Liam and his younger sister Ella found themselves at the lake's edge. The air was still, and the moon hung low, casting its pale light over the glassy surface. They had ignored the warnings of the townsfolk, laughing off the tales as mere superstition. Liam, always the skeptic, wanted proof that the lake was just that, a lake, and not the dwelling of some mythical beast. "See, Ella, just water," Liam said, skipping a stone across the still surface. The ripples spread out in perfect circles, disrupting the eerie calm. No monsters, no curses, just stories to scare kids. Ella wasn't so sure. She felt uneasy, as if the shadows of the trees were watching them. The lake seemed unnaturally quiet. No chirping crickets, no rustling leaves, just silence. She pulled her jacket tighter around her and looked at her brother. "Can we go now? This place feels wrong." The words died in his throat as the water beneath the moonlight rippled unnaturally. It was subtle at first, then grew stronger, as if something massive was shifting beneath the surface. Both siblings froze, their eyes fixed on the water. Suddenly, a low, guttural growl reverberated through the stillness, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "What was that?" Ella whispered, her voice trembling. Before Liam could respond, a massive serpentine head broke the surface of the lake. Its skin was slick and black, glistening like oil under the moonlight. Its eyes were an unnatural shade of red, glowing with a malevolent intelligence. The creature opened its maw, revealing rows of jagged teeth that looked like shards of obsidian. It let out a deafening roar that echoed through the forest, and the siblings stumbled back in terror. "Run!" Liam shouted, grabbing Ella's arm. They sprinted toward the tree line, their feet pounding against the soft earth. Behind them, the sound of water crashing and churning filled the air as Virolith surged after them, its massive body slithering through the shallows. Ella dared a glance back and screamed. The creature was faster than she expected, its coiled body propelling it forward with terrifying speed. Its clawed limbs raked the ground as it dragged itself closer, leaving deep gouges in the soil. They reached the edge of the forest, ducking under low-hanging branches and leaping over exposed roots. The creature's growls grew louder, and the sound of snapping trees told them it was still on their trail. "Keep going," Liam urged, though his voice was strained with panic. The forest suddenly opened into a clearing, and they skidded to a halt. Before them lay the remains of an old cabin, its wooden walls rotted and covered in moss. "Inside," Liam shouted, pulling Ella with him. They slammed the door shut and bolted it with a rusted beam they found on the floor. Outside, the growls of Virolith circled the cabin, accompanied by the sound of heavy, wet breathing. The creature's claws scraped against the wooden walls, the sound like nails on a chalkboard. Ella clung to Liam, tears streaming down her face. "It's going to get us," she sobbed. "No," Liam said, though his voice lacked conviction. He scanned the room and spotted a trapdoor in the corner. "Down there now."